Good morning. So this is our very cozy little Waterfall Valley hut, and we've got the fire going because it's cold, and we've just finished packing up our breakfast, filled in the book over there, registered the next leg of our walk, and we're heading to Lake Windermere hut. So that should be slightly easier than yesterday. One thing we've discovered is we've got way too much food. So I really was worried about the fact that we wouldn't have enough, food for our lunches and things. So I packed us each a sort of a bag that said this is Lamb's day 2, like for that, and I've got Fiona day 2. And yeah, it was really sort of thinking we needed a lot, and we're just not hungry, so we don't know whether that's because we're in a bit of a shock from yesterday's slog. Oh, and this is our view out the window now. Barn Bluff is behind all of that cloud. So we've just left Waterfall Valley hut, which you can see over in the distance there. We've just got these beautiful views back down the valley, sort of next to where we came from, and we're now heading up this track and we're making our way towards Windermere. It's 9 a.m. and we doubt whether we'll get there till way after lunch, early afternoon, just because we're slow and we need to pick up. But we've made adjustments to our backpacks, so hopefully that'll be good. Alright, so just walked along the hut, and this is just stunning. We're looking over the escarpment. You can see the water coming down there, and just a beautiful look down the valley. We're just having a little break, and we just came across this beautiful tree with all of the lovely moss growing off it. I think it's called Grandfather's Beard. And yeah, it's just gorgeous, and I think we're just about to enter a forest as we come going over sort of the next ridge, and we're probably going to hit the wind again, but the views are just spectacular, and thankfully the cloud has lifted so we can see a long way down there. It's just beautiful. So we are just coming over the top of our last little ridge for a while. The sun is shining and we can see Mount Oakley in all its glory there in the distance. Very jagged edge, and it's just beautiful. It's just the most gorgeous. Everything changes. Every time you come over a ridge, it's a completely different landscape. And we're now looking for Lake Will, which hopefully we'll get to soon. But it is just stunning. We've come over this last ridge and you can see the wind howling through there, and suddenly we've dropped down into this gorgeous little quiet, calm area. Lake Will to turn off, and we're just in this lovely, like a heathland, and over in the distance you can see Lake Will. And looking back the way we've come, more of the heathland, and that's we keep crossing these little creeks, and we're heading to Windermere hut. And according to the GPS on my sat, it's only about 3 k's, so that's good. Okay, so we're just looking back down the track, and you can see Lake Will, and pretty much our first glimpses of Barn Bluff, which is just so beautiful. It's got snow on it, but yes, because of the weather we're having, it's largely been covered in clouds, so it's really nice to just see that poking through there, because even when we're have an amazing view of Barn Bluff, we couldn't see it. Looking back down, you can see the track in the sunlight. It's so funny, it's so relative. to zip our jackets open and take our gloves off. It's so hot. All because, you know, it's just a little tiny bit of sunlight and suddenly it's a couple of degrees warmer and we're sweating. But it's really hard to stand up at times. See a lake down there. We're sort of hoping that might be it, or are we being optimistic? Anyway, it's very beautiful and we're just going to head down this track.
Oh, I love my shiwi. It's brilliant. So this is Lake Windermere, and it's very pretty. And we just checked the Garmin because we thought, oh, I wonder how much further we've got. And blissfully it said 697 meters to go. So we were like, yoo, fantastic. And had a little break. And now we're just doing our last little walk in towards the hut at Windermere. So we're coming into Windermere Hut, which is just stunning. Set up there in the tree line, absolutely beautiful. So here we are at Windermere, and this is it. Beautiful little place. Because we're doing this in winter, we haven't even had to pay fees to do the track. You know, we've got our Tasmanian Parks Pass, but it costs us nothing to do this, and these huts are available. They're just beautiful, all this tent space, and we are the only ones on the track at the moment. We saw at the registration book, there's the toilets up the back there. In the registration book, we saw that there are a couple of people in front of us, 2 days in front of us, but there's nobody else on the track at the moment except us. Enjoying it, Lance?
Exhausted but loving it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Windermere Hut, the new one, and how's that for view out the window? It's absolutely stunning. Like all of the huts in Tasmania, basically, they have these beautiful readings on the wall, which are lovely to read. And they're historical, so this one is by E.T. Emmett, 1871 to 1970. He was a Tasmanian pioneer bushwalker and the first director of tourism. First official overland track walk was in January 1931. So it's lovely. I'll read that later to myself, but there's information on the walls. There is information about the animals and a lovely heater, which honestly we do not need to put on yet. We are a very warm, you can see there's a thermometer on the wall. It has to drop below 10 degrees, and this week we are in the middle of winter, but we're having an incredibly warm, that's why there's no snow on the track, a very warm trip. Well, here we are at Windermere Hut on the Overland track in Tasmania, and we are just so loving having our greenskin wine. It's so small, it packs into our backpack, and honestly, it is just a blessing to have it at the end of another long day of trekking. Thank you, Mike and Kim. Okay, look at us having Turkish falafel for dinner. It is good. What do you think of the Turkish falafel?
It's tasty.
It is.
It's got the right flavour.
It's actually really yummy, yeah. Well, we've had a few peanut butter scotch whiskies and we're very relaxed now, looking out the window towards Barn Bluff, but again we can't see it. It's like the Mystery Mountain and down towards Lake Windermere.